But then we also had some signings that happened as well, man. One of these receivers that you're talking about, Martavis. What about his, the good version of him, or the a little bit better version in terms of Josh Gordon?
At least, yeah. Well,
signed into the Chiefs, huh?
I was gonna say at least he's been in the league a little bit more than Josh Gordon or than Martavis Bryant, and he had that All-Pro season with like 1,600 yards and stuff.
Yeah. We were all victims.
It's a great move. Any of these times Josh Gordon has been signed, I feel like it's a great move because there's no risk to it, potential high reward. Because whenever he's right, he's an amazing receiver.
Absolutely. And he's one of those guys I feel like even when he like comes back from suspension, he always comes back looking like, dude.
Well, he was with the Patriots. He had like good, 700 yards in like 12 games, 11 games.
And I was with them still like learning the playbook and all that stuff they would talk about. Like, it's nuts, man.
Yeah, whenever they signed AB in that 2019 season in week 1, they already had Gordon on the roster. They signed AB, they have Edelman and stuff. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. This is about to be
insane. Yep.
But then, AB's gone, and then Josh Gordon suspended or he left on his own that we were talking about earlier, and then they were depleted.
Yep.
But no, I think it's a good signing for the Chiefs. Sucks for us. Because he actually has potential. I don't know.
See, I would have liked that a lot more than I would have rather had Josh Gordon
with us.
And if we're going to take a chance on Josh versus Martavis, I would have rather did the Josh Gordon experiment.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I just didn't even know it was an option until he started trying to get reinstated. It was so quick.
Got you, yeah.
His reinstatement that ended up getting signed, it was like bang, bang. I thought a team would maybe even take their time because I think when stuff like this has happened in the past, well, there was like an AB signing, or I think even Josh Gordon. It takes a few weeks. Oh, these teams are thinking about signing him. When's it going to happen?
But I will say with Josh's transgressions compared to AB's, Josh is more of the substance abuse and mental health side, whereas with AB, it was more of the, the physical or the driving, the altercation and stuff like that. It just, one is a little bit easier if you're an NFL organization to handle or take a chance on, whereas the other one, just from an optics perspective, not saying that one is, worse than the other or better than the other, but just optics wise, being able to see, the stuff that AB was dealing with or what he was doing, it just hits a little bit harder for some people.
Low risk, high reward, because their second receiver is McCole Hardman. Good, but
he's limited.
Tyreek Hill and McCole Hardman compared to Tyreek Hill and Josh Gordon, maybe at least 85% of what he was in his prime.
And you throw in Kelsey, because now you got to remember, Gordon doesn't have to be the man right now. It's kind of like the AB role. AB went to Tampa, and it's like, AB, you ain't have to come back and be the man day one. Now, you see what he's looking like now. Like when he's out there, it's starting to show like, all right, he didn't got his legs back under. He got that football back up under him. He's good to go now. But he wasn't required to do that when he first got there. Josh not gonna be required to be the man. Josh gonna be able to come in and just take his time with it. Get comfortable out there.
I do know the Chiefs are 1-2 right now, but I'm sure they could ease Gordon in, still rattle off some games by midseason before he gets like fully acclimated. Worst case scenario, doesn't work out, they end up cutting him at some point. I don't think it's going to mess anything up in their locker room at all when you have Patrick Mahomes. They brought in
L. Bell during that time where L. Bell was still like a little taboo to touch.
And you got to think Josh Gordon, with his past and him wanting to get back in the league like he has, like he's going to really want to be like invested in this.
I hope so. I definitely hope so.
I don't think there's any risk at all. Kind of sucks we didn't sign him, like you said.
I know. That's what
I'm bummed out. An AFC team got him, an AFC team that's going to be contender. I'm bummed out about that. But for both sides, it's a good move because Josh Gordon fitting in their lineup as a receiver, if he's right, I don't think he has much competition at all.
I would agree.
Hardman's good to take the top off the defense, but he's kind of like a little one-trick pony.
Josh is Josh. And the thing, like,
because then they have Byron Pringle, Demarcus Robinson.
Way more confident in Josh just because Josh, it hasn't been since 2017 with him. Like Josh, if he's mentally where he needs to be, he'll be fine.